On KGW News, teachers and students in Gresham call for change with their safety at stake.
They let a known student with a weapon walk through my class filled with students.
Plus, how the city's watchdog is standing up for low-income neighbors allegedly being targeted by predatory towing.
It's disappointing. These are people who the city is trying to help.
Plus, call it an adjustment, how students are feeling about having to lock up their phones in class.
If I want to contact my friends, I have to email them, like I'm a pilgrim.
And later, why a beloved event that brings together classic car lovers for charity
It's just been a really cool ride.
is taking its final cruise. We begin at 11 with new fallout at Gresham High after an incident involving a student with a gun. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko, and tonight teachers and students took their growing safety concerns to the school board. Catherine Cook has our top story.
We had a deadly weapon on campus.
Remembering what happened on September 20th is hard for Gresham High School students and teachers, especially Mark Adamski. They shared concerns with the Gresham Barlow School Board Wednesday about an incident involving a 17-year-old student. Police arrested him for bringing a gun to school. Adamski says the student had recently been hostile during his class, and on that day, he took the teen's cell phone.
Luckily, they complied because, unknown to me, the student had a loaded 9mm handgun in their waistband with a bullet in the chamber. 10 minutes later, a campus monitor stood at my doorway and asked that armed student to grab their stuff and go with them. The students slowly walked across the entire room with time to do whatever they wanted.
School officials say they learned about the threat when a community member tipped them off, saying the teen had threatened them with a gun outside the school before walking in.
They let a known student with a weapon walk through my class filled with students, and the police hadn't even been called or consulted yet.
Many who testified believe school officials should have placed the campus on a hold or lockdown as they responded to the threat with so much at stake.
We need leadership who can ensure our safety and deal with threats in a proper, safe manner.
In a statement, the Gresham Barlow School District praised how building administration and campus monitors handled the incident, adding, "We also review input from students, staff, and families. We are always looking for ways to improve our processes and procedures."
I'd like to see a full investigation just to see missteps. We were told everything was I think the words were, we did everything right. And I'm often told as an educator, reflect on what you've done.
Students and teachers approached the school board last spring, delivering a vote of no confidence in Gresham's principal and district. This after months of what they described as drug use and frequent violent fights among students armed with weapons. They're frustrated to be here again.
Your actions of continuously ignoring what we want as students have led us to no longer trust any of you or leadership at Gresham High School.
Many other students at Gresham High School have ongoing safety concerns, and they want the community to know. They're planning to stage a walkout during school on Thursday at noon, and they invite parents to join them. In Gresham, Catherine Cook, KGW News.
In a breaking traffic alert tonight, a rollover crash has closed the connector ramp from westbound I-84 to northbound I-205. This is a live look from ODOT cameras in northeast Portland. The connector has been shut down since just after 7 when police say one car crashed, critically injuring the driver. No word on the cause of the crash or how long traffic will be impacted. Airport Way or Sandy Boulevard will get you around that closure. Now to new information from a police shooting in Milwaukee that sent one man to the hospital. Investigators today saying the man was unarmed when 2 officers shot him during a traffic stop. This was outside a Taco Bell on Southeast Oak Street early Monday morning. Investigators say police pulled over the driver who had a suspended license, then ordered him to get out of the car. They say he refused, and after officers tried to pull the man out of the vehicle, they shot him. It is still unclear if that driver did anything that caused the officers to pull the trigger. The driver remains in the hospital in critical condition. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now, a Tigard High School sophomore has died in an e-bike crash. According to Tualatin Police, the teenager hit some debris in the bike lane while headed south on 124th Avenue, then lost control, hitting a curb and a tree. Police say the teen was wearing a helmet at the time. A jury has found a Portland man guilty of torching his own apartment building. This was in May 2023, just hours before sheriff's deputies were planning to physically evict him from the May Apartments in Southwest Portland. Garrett Repp was found guilty today of more than 50 charges and if found to be a dangerous offender could serve up to 30 years in prison. All tenants were forced to move and the building was demolished. And staffing changes in St. Helens mean police officers are no longer on patrol 24 hours a day. Instead, officers will be on call during a daily 4-hour gap. The chief says the department is having a hard time hiring and filling positions.
St. Helens used to have 200 to 300 applicants for 1 or 2 jobs. We sometimes see, when all the dust settles, less than 20. And then out of that 20, we have to fill 1 or 2 or 3 positions, and we just can't hire an individual. We have to do a background investigation. We have to ensure that they're the right fit for the job.
The chief calls this temporary, though isn't sure how long the change will last. Well, students in Seaside are now a month into a big change with their combined middle and high school now phone-free, part of a growing trend across the Northwest and the country, really. Seaside is using those magnetic pouches for devices they lock and unlock using that magnet there at the school's entrance at the beginning and end of the school day. Now, some students are using the pouches, though it turns out others are leaving their phones at home and some in their vehicles. No matter, school leadership says it's already creating a better learning environment. Here's some, though, of what we heard from students.
Sometimes I'm having a hard time and I need support from my best friends. And I feel like that's just so hard when I can't do that. And I have to if I want to contact my friends, I have to email them. I'm a pilgrim.
Usually I wouldn't ask questions, I'd ask AI. Now I ask my teacher and he explains it perfectly to me. It's easier to understand. The phone was a big distraction for me personally.
Oh, you have to chuckle at some of the comments, right? Okay, Principal Jeff Roberts says his staff is ecstatic about the change. He estimates 95% of parents are in support. Meanwhile, Oregon's Education Department is working on a statewide policy. In an update tonight, City Council has denied an effort to block a new music venue in Southeast Portland. That means development of the 3,500-seat venue can move forward. A group of local musicians asked city leaders to stop it, saying the venue's operator, Live Nation, would harm smaller independent venues. They also raised concerns over traffic and train blockages where the venue would be built. This is near the east end of the Hawthorne Bridge. However, commissioners said they could only rule on whether the venue would violate land use rules, and today ruled that it did not. Yeah, getting used to that sound, right? We're less than 2 weeks out from a debate that could help Portland voters determine the future of the Rose City. KGW is partnering with the Oregonian to host a debate with the top candidates in the race for Portland mayor. And guess what? We want to hear from you. You can submit a short video posing a question to the candidates, one candidate or all of them. Just send it to debate@kgw.com. You can also scan this QR code for details. And join us live. It is Tuesday, October 15th at 6:30 in the evening, right here on KGW and streaming online on KGW+.